Boys and girls, welcome to the Funduro here in Patriotopolis? No, can't remember.
The Brickyard, Indianapolis.
This is the one where
the USFA
Roethlisberger plays.
No.
Oh well,
this is Peyton Manning / Andrew Luck territory.
That was kind of the joke I was going for.
I know.
With me on commentary, as per the usual, is the coronavirus to my own personal health and safety standards, Michael Magas.
Only the coronavirus? I thought I'd get the black flag at least.
Try it. Well, we're gearing up here. It's early days. Calm down. Maybe somebody finds this in 10 years, the last 3 people alive, and drinking the last coronas there are, and dying of the last coronavirus. And also with us on commentary is Devoyne Shower Handle.
I was going for Xmas Jackson Flaxen Waxen, but I'll take that.
I do what I want.
It's too much of a mouthful. You got to come up with simpler name.
Well, no, I was gonna eventually do that one plus about 2 other very long names from the East West Bowl.
Oh, don't give in to him. Just
make
him the sound of a jackhammer.
I mean, I need a soundboard for that.
So
I thought we were gonna download one.
A quick explanation of the rules here. This is a GT3 and GT4 race that will go on for 2 hours. You can see the blue cars are GT3, and the brown orange color that's the GT4 class. There is your grid. Mike Stoffmill starting on pole from Christopher Steppen, Travis Wallace, and Martin Edmonds. That's your top 4. And your top man in the GT4 category is Sergio Mengual, followed by James Butler. Very impressive run by Mr. Butler. Interesting note, myself and Zach Hemstrom, who you're going to see in P4 and P5, identical lap times, 1:33.109. Interesting.
I think probably Zach's cheating.
Noel Robbins will start 3rd, and bringing up the rear, it will actually be Moley because he does not start the race on the grid. So he will be starting from the pit lane.
I approve of that number.
The 69 number? Yeah.
That's Mike Stoffmill, isn't it?
No, that's Martin Evans.
Is Stoffmill rocking the Weedmobile on this one, or not so much?
Stoffmill is rocking the green and black and white Mercedes that you will see at the front. No particular weebishness to it, really. That's the one that
you'll know the Weedmobile once you see it. It's unavoidable.
Oh, there's a Hello Kitty car. Yeah, totally.
No, it's covered with like anime girls.
Oh no, that's the ACC game that is unfortunately not in Race Room Experience.
Well, that sounds like somebody's dropping the ball.
It does, actually, to be honest. I'm totally with you there, but I assume there's a licensing or rights problem that prevents that from being a thing.
I think the fact that Raceroom has the ADAC license and ACC has the Blancpain license.
Mm-hmm. Well, they used to have Blancpain in Race Room. There are Blancpain liveries here, just nothing recent. Anyways, we are off. We are short 1 car because Frederico Zvanger was unable to make the grid. I know Byron's hard.
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
Anyways, we approach turn 1, which is a major overtaking opportunity. I think you're going to see a lot of overtakes right there. Great start by Carmine Carpintero. He's up to 3rd place behind Mike Stoffmill and Travis Wallace.
You can't mine for cars, are you high?
Leading the GT4 category, it is Noel Robbins. Bad start from Sergio Mengual. He was the pole sitter in GT4 and is slipped down to 6th place. 6th place.
Martin's dropping back.
Indy Martin went off the track and had to rejoin in a safe manner.
Dropping back to pass or other?
No, he just spun it. Paul Riccobeni in 10th place there in the black Callaway C7 Corvette. He was not familiar with this car, but chose it anyways, which was a bit of an odd move. And leading the way is the Cornley Motorsports car of Mike Stoffmill. Ahead of Travis Wallace. I picked that livery for Travis because he was being a lazy boy and not deciding on a livery, so I rolled the dice and it came up with that one. So he can complain about that all he wants.
Excellent.
And he has been.
I do like the creamsicle car this racing. Is that Wallace or Carpintero?
Carpintero's the carbon black car, so I think you're talking about Wallace.
Wallace! Creamsicle son of a bitch.
I think
Josiah
he's.
Jerome to
Who's
the
he
inside
blocking?
for an overtake. Who's who blocking?
Oh no, Jerome was just over a little far to the right.
Yeah, I think he was going for an overtake on Jesus
What the
Huerta.
fuck?
Whoa,
What's
contact!
with the giant fucking sideswipe?
The giant sideswipe was not cool. That's what that is. TXEFO Performance, change your name. 10th place in the GT4 class right now. Oh, 9th place.
Uh-oh.
I think there's a
Travis-
solid 4 frames on the screen at the moment.
I know, it's a little choppy on the video. But hopefully mine doesn't look this way, and I can substitute my recording in for this one. So that'll be interesting. Ariel Zatoni in P3. Did a good job. With Travis Wallace having spun out of 2nd place. And we do have one mandatory pit stop, which is oddly not being shown on the standing screen. It did on my recording, but apparently not on this one, which is a little bit concerning. And of course, unfortunately, as per usual, the timing intervals we are being given are completely useless.
That sounds like a bad thing.
Jesus
Not my
Huerta
favorite.
and Josiah Jerome have climbed up. They were fighting over 8th place. Now they are fighting over 6th place. So things have happened in their favor. This is T Performance overtaking Demetrius Simeonitis.
Oh, Jerome.
Jesus Huerta and Josiah Jerome. I was just saying nice things about you guys and Jerome. Oh,
My goodness.
Sean Kenny has lost the hood on the Hello Kitty car.
And front bumper, I think.
I would hope. One would hope you would not lose your bonnet and not your bumper. Michael Magas running in 3rd place in the GT4s behind James Butler and Zach Hemstrom. Double Porsches out front.
I like the size difference between the BMW and the Porsche.
BMWs are always huge, let's be honest. Actually, I was kind of thinking of something. Oh, Travis Wallace making an overtake on a Corvette there and setting up to go past Sean Kinney as well. I imagine that car for Sean is not driving properly right now. I was just realizing something. I went out shopping earlier and I was walking to the store and passed a, like a BMW 4-seating, business kind of sedan. I looked at it, that's like a really sporty looking sedan. Why do their race cars all look like boxes? Like it's a confusing car brand. Alex Loeffler in the BMW there, fighting with, that is Sergio Mengual in the Lotus. And behind them it is Douglas DeGroat and Javi P. Javier Perez Torres sporting the orange BMW. Christopher Streppen looking to make a move here. He's had a rough race, it looks like, because he started near the front. He's overtaking Alvar Gomez there for 7th place. And further back, we have Scott Greenfield tangling with a Porsche. That is Dixon Hurst. For class notifications, we have 18 GT3s and 17 GT4s, so that'll, I guess, help you figure out where everyone is in their relative class rankings.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the Porsches is off. I think that's Simeonitis. That's Mauricio Delgado rejoining. Avoids that. Avoids what could have been a really bad position there, actually. So
Hey, I like that Lotus.
which Lotus? It's either
Sean Flynn.
Shannon Flynn. Sorry.
Shannon.
Flynn.
I took a swing and a miss.
Yeah, the cyan racing livery. That does have
The bright
a
blue.
appeal. Indeed, it does have a nice appeal.
All I'm going to say is I came down with some Simeonitis once and doctor cleaned it right up.
Richard Derouche running in 9th place. That is Alvar Gomez that he's on the tail of. A lot of BMWs today. I was a little surprised at how many BMWs in the GT3 class there were, because the M6 has historically not been the strongest of cars, but it is pretty well balanced now, and they are doing well. But I expected more Porsches, I guess, is what it comes down to.
I would have taken the Porsche.
I would have probably gone with the Merc or the Audi. I don't think there are... oh, no, Josiah is running the Audi. I think we literally only have one Audi, which is quite disappointing.
Let's change that.
Noel Robbins, who started pretty high up in the GT4s, back in 14th place, so he's had a bit of a rough race.
You said
so
Moly
far.
Moly Moly started from the pits, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, that explains it.
He's in 27th place as it stands. And of course, Sean Kenny and Jesus Huerta, who are at the back of the pack, they of course had their problems as James Butler and Michael Magas squabble over second place in GT4.
Put him on the wall.
They need to sort this out pretty quickly because that Lotus behind them is the guy who started on pole, Sergio Mengual. He's got a good deal of pace and will definitely be looking to get to the top.
Wallace went from second to almost dead last to he's all the way back up to where you see him today in the knife block.
Should be mentioned, it has to be said, the GT3s are about 7 seconds a lap faster than the GT4s, so even a GT3 that had problems will be able to cut through the GT4s in a pretty quick manner. As that is, I think, Max Simon's in the Paft car, plaid Porsche off the track.
It's Fath.
Fath? Is that how it's said?
That's how they say it.
All right, it's Fath.
I like to drive Faf.
Shut up.
Josiah Jerome up to 10th place in the Land car. That is a lapped Porsche of, I think, John Peachin that they are going past.
Actually, I believe that's a water car, not a land car.
It is definitely Land car. Shannon Flynn running in 8th place in GT4 in a huge mess of stuff here. That Porsche that was making its way through, that is a GT3 car, so they are not racing here.
Was that Moly Moly Moly?
That was Moly, yes.
Mole, 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 mole.
As much as at various points you will see a GT3 and a GT4 fighting for position, I'm putting air quotes on that, the fact is a GT4 cannot resist a GT3 for the entire lap, so there's no point in fighting. Noel Robbins, definitely the most disappointing guy so far. Not sure what happened to him, but he is running in 14th place after qualifying, I want to say P4, or no, P3 for the race, so having a rough time. And of course, the man dominating these proceedings, Mike Stoppman. Travis Wallace going side by side with Zarai Garanian into turn 1, and Garanian's going to overcook that pretty hard.
There's something wrong with the way that it records when you go around a corner. It's a stutter when you turn.
I'm going to go ahead and blame Martin's 1 gig of RAM.
I imagine, well, I mean, admittedly, we're doing 36 cars here. This is a hard one. And a relatively high ping count because, of course, we are dealing with a very multinational grid. As Noel Robbins is trying to get around, speaking of multinational, America's Noel Robbins versus Greece's Dimitrios Simeonidis. And America is probably going to triumph this time. Or I don't know, actually. The Porsches were very strong on these banking sections, so he may be able to hold on, despite the fact that I think Noel is the faster driver. No, I think Noel's got this. Oh, this could be ugly, though. Okay, Dimitrios makes the discretion is the better part of valor decision and gives up 13th place.
And you shall Noel before him and call him Lord. Neil. Sorry, Neil.
It's good to have Noel Robbins back in the grid. Actually, he's been gone a while.
Here is to you, Noel Robinson.
Yes, Mike Stoppmill coming up to some traffic ahead of him. Those are a couple of GT4s. That is Dixon Hurst and I believe that's Simeonidis, actually, who is being left for dead by Noel Robbins, for the record. So probably a good idea to give up the position there at turn 1 if you really cannot keep with the guy. Oh, one of the black Corvettes is off. That is Paul Riccobeni rejoining. And I believe he was in a pretty high-ranking position, so dropping out of the top 10 now. And rejoining behind fellow Corvette, Zarai Garanian. But ahead of Martin Edmonds, who's on his comeback through the field.
I prefer food with onions.
I mean, it's a solid point.
Yeah, so I'm totally in agreement with that.
Javi P looking to get into the top 5 in GT4 as he's taking a run at Alex Loeffler, but cannot get the job done at this time. Douglas DeGroat in the background going kind of off the track. Fran Machuca running in 5th place. A pretty solid effort for BMW. 3rd,
Going
5th,
through
6th, and 7th.
Schumacher corner.
Indeed. The great resting pace of Ralph Schumacher's various body
Spine.
parts. Pretty much. Josiah Jerome looking to make a move on Max Simmons, and this might open the door for Travis Wallace. And Dixon Hurst in kind of a bad spot there, but he stays out of the way nicely. And at the end of the day, no positions change hands. So, a bit anticlimactic.
I vote that everybody goes on the wall.
I'm guessing 43 is Schnitzer. Yeah. Damn it.
Why is it a damn it?
Because I was trying to test my knowledge by guessing it, but then I looked at the bottom and it's like, oh yeah.
Well, it's obviously Schnitzer car. It's totally there. I think. Is that the creamsicle car that you were talking about earlier, Byron, there?
Yeah, that's Wallace.
Okay, that's Travis Wallace.
That's a Super GT livery.
Indeed it is. Javi Perez Torres, still on the tail of Alex Loeffler, has not found a way around yet. This is a nice little BMW group here that are running 4th, 5th, and 6th in GT4. Michael Magas up ahead of them in the basic group car. Javi racing for Boatworks Racing. Going down the inside, and we're not going to see if he gets that done because we decided that Christopher Streppen was going.
What a hook.
I can answer the question, though. It looks like Loeffler has hung on to 5th place against Javi P. And Verstappen going down the inside, and I think he's got the job done there, and that's going to be 5th place ahead of Wayne Hutchinson for the BMW Team Schnitzer man.
Schnitzer.
Zerai Garanian. I think he just overtook Josiah Jerome.
Is that the Ukrainian flag?
That is the Ukrainian flag, yes.
Soon it will become Ukraine.
Of course, now, do you know what Josiah's flag is?
Guyana?
No, sir.
No, that's the Texas flag. What, he lives in Texas?
Mike Stopmill coming up to a boat.
Is it South Africa?
It is not South Africa, no.
I'm at a loss then.
Keep guessing.
It is. Oh, Javi Perez Torres falling down a lap. Alex Loeffler will see what I mean when I talk about how the speed difference here. Mike Stopmill just cutting through everybody.
I think that's just his normal pace, and those are all GT3 cars.
No, those are GT4 cars. That's the BMW. Oh, somebody off the track. Didn't catch whom. We'll see if someone starts dropping in the order, but it looks like it might be someone who's already had some trouble and therefore is kind of close to the back anyway. As Richard Darouche goes up the inside of Wayne Hutchinson. That's 2 spots Wayne Hutchinson has lost in the last lap. So
how dare he?
Wayne may... Well, to be honest, Wayne may have been promoted a little bit just off of attrition and is now kind of settling back to where he was. Although this battle intrigues me. Max Simons, Travis Wallace, and Christoph Verstappen. Verstappen and Simons and Wallace can all get really feisty. So those 3 on the track together could be some fun times.
Let's keep track of that battle, hopefully.
Mike Stopmill is overtaken James Butler there, so he has lapped all the way up to the class leader for GT4, Zach Hemstrom, who will be next on this list.
Class act to Zach Hemstrom there.
I feel like this is the most continual screen time Stoffman's had in any race we've ever done.
Well, it's because there's actually cars around him.
Yeah.
As Javier Perez, that's okay. That's just an M6 going through. That's Ariel Zatoni, I do believe, cleared some lap traffic. So that's no impact on Javi's position there. Still running this solid P6. And here is Travis Wallace, Max Simmons, Christopher Streppen going through traffic. This could get ugly.
Well, I like that.
Go plaid car.
I like the delivery trucks are my favorite. I wish we could have them. Whoa, hello.
Indeed, it got ugly. We got a Porsche off, and there is a BMW missing a front end. Verstappen overtakes Wallace.
Looks like Verstappen and Wallace both got front end damage there.
Indeed.
And a Callaway.
It's a Callaway. That's got to be either Ichazo or Garunian, who has come to a bit of a halt. I'm not sure who. Looks like it's Garunian, as he is dropping. I think that's it. Garunian and Mauricio Delgado, I believe, are done, and I think so is Jesse Hampton and Noel Robbins. So some carnage early, and just like that, we're down to 31 cars. And we're down to only 12 GT4s left with the retirements of Robbins, Hampton, and Delgado. Mike Stopmill has now overtaken all of the GT4s to put them a lap down. That is in the background, Zach Hemstra. And, yeah, his next target will be Mole 2 lap. He's, of course, also lapped a pair of the running GT3s. Those are Sean Kinney and Jesus Huerta. Kenny is slipping back again. So, more problems for our boy Sean. Travis Wallace still on the tail of Max Simons and Christoph Verstappen. So that trio is still together. We may get more action.
I don't want to look at the winner, Martin Switch.
This might be the place we want to look. That is Shannon Flynn getting out of the way of a potentially troublesome Three Musketeers. I mean this with no disrespect to these three drivers. They're very fast, very, very talented. They're just also sometimes a little bit over-aggressive, and that's what we likes about them.
That's what I appreciate about them.
Mike Stopmill still leading the way. I'm not going to really bother shouting out corners on this track because they're all just numbers. So
this is turn one right here.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, no, we haven't hit turn 1 yet. That's the last turn.
No, that's turn 1.
No, not on the GP course. It's not.
It is in my heart.
I know. The Indy is, of course, a famous oval track, and they created this course when F1 decided to come to the brickyard. Sergio Mengual letting some traffic through, and he's chasing the Porsche of James Butler. That is for second in class, so that's an interesting fight. Javier Perez-Torres really all over the back end of Alex Loeffler, but he's got a problem, and that's Martin Edmonds in the BMW M6 trying to come through. Martin is absolutely weaving like a madman to try to stay out of the GT4 fight, and as a result, we may get 3 wide GT4s into turn 1. We go instead to Christoph Verstappen, who is still trying to track down Max Simmons. I will keep an eye on it. Loeffler, Perez, and Flynn have maintained their position, so no movement on the 3 wide. Looks like Josiah Jerome in the Audi R8 off the track there as he loses a spot to Paul Riccobeni, Callaway competition car. Like Stopmill putting a lap on Jesus Huerta. That's not for the first time. I think that's Huerta's second lapping.
Indian.
And then he's in basically last place in the GT3.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
In fact, he's behind most of the GT4s right now in the running order, which is not a great place to be for the upper class car.
Notice that all of the BMWs are grouped together except for Scott Greenfield.
That is true. There's a lot of BMW grouping going on here, which is interesting.
Oh, who was that went off there?
Martin
Butler.
That was Martin Edmonds, I think, actually. Oh, no, it is Butler. You're right. That was Butler. So that's a big moment for... Or is it Butler? It looked like he dropped. Okay, now he's dropping. Okay, so he just... yeah, that is Butler. Right,
odd place to spin.
Bit of a weird one, yeah. Maybe contact with the wall?
Maybe.
VP up into the top 5 and still scrapping with Alex Loeffler, having a fantastic race. Loeffler is a veteran driver, so to see an Academy driver fighting with him so hard, it's ingratiating to the whole Academy process.
Beautiful.
Mike Stopmill working his way through traffic. This is 2 members of the Three Amigos. That is Dixon Hurst and John Peacham. The third one, of course, is Toby Howard.
Why are they the Three Musketeers?
Well, they tend to team together in all our team events and are currently the 3 members of Team 3 Amigos, which is a triple AMG team in the Wednesday series.
Ah, okay.
And that is what they named their team. They are all running BMWs, I believe. No, they are not. They're a mixed bag actually this time, so they're not working as closely together as usual. Toby and John are running Porsches, but Dixon is running a BM. Nope, they're all running Porsches. Never mind. For some reason, I thought Dixon Hurst was running a BMW, but he is not. He's in a Porsche. So they are working together once again with the triple Porsches. Although it should be mentioned, just as a kind of an odd trivia fact, there are 2 different Porsches in the GT4 category. Although I don't know if any of the new ones are here. I think everyone went with the old ones who picked Porsche.
Actually, I don't think so. I could have sworn I did see some new ones.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that, but I think I've only seen old ones.
That's a new one right there.
That's a GT3, though. It's the
I know.
GT4 new one I'm talking about.
I'm holding out for the GT2s.
There are GT2s.
There are, in fact.
Alvar Gomez making a move there into 11th place ahead of Luciano Ichazo. Mike Stockmill continues to lead the entire race and, of course, his class.
Do you have to pedal the GT2s?
You do not. Should be mentioned that I believe my watching of Sharp on the ESR YouTube account has highly affected its suggestions, because everything at the side is, see here, Sharp finds out about Major Septus Pycroft, Colonel Brandstein's trial, Sharp, and Simerson lies about his cowardice, Sharp. Ariel Zattoni on the tail of Fran Machuca, battling for top BMW honors actually here, and 3rd place overall. And looking for a move down the inside into turn 1. Can he make it happen? He might be able to, and it looks like he has. Good move by the BMW Team SRM car against the Turner Motorsports car of Fran Machuca.
What about the Hooch Motorsports car if there's a turn? There's a Turner team, there's got to be a Hooch team.
There is, unfortunately,
There's a Cooch team.
There is a Cooch team.
It's pretty close.
But there is no Hooch team that I can think of.
I think Turner and Cooch should be a much different movie.
Probably. Mike Stockmill continues to lead the way. We are approaching the 1/4 mark. I'll give you a full rundown of the standings when we get there, because I think tracking standings throughout this is going to be exceedingly difficult. Javier making a bit of a mistake there, and that's opening the door for Shannon Flynn in your favorite car there, Higgs. As the Lotus moves into the top 5.
It's a very Swedish livery.
Very much so. The Cyan Racing Crew is like Switzerland, or Sweden's like national team, pretty much.
Disappointed that Zach Henstrom did not choose that car.
It would make a lot of sense, but he went with the Porsche.
See, look at that. Oh, wait. I was going to say, look at the GT4. But I can't see it because we're not focused on it.
Fran Machuca trying to repeat what happened last lap, only in reverse, but Ariel Zattoni closes the door, and they've let Richard DeRouche catch up with them, so 3-way battle for top BMW honors at the moment. Go Grande
3-way is
Ricardo.
always better.
Douglas DeGroat on the tail of T Performance. Get a real name. Ugh.
Disgusting.
It is a little.
You make me sick.
It is a little disgusting. I've never really understood the fake name thing. Don't get me wrong. If you don't want to use your real, like, legal name, don't. But, like,
Yeah, if you don't want to use your
throw
real legal
something
name,
together.
just come at me and I'll give you something weird and exotic to use.
exactly.
We'll just watch the East West College Bowl and give you names from that.
I think
Some of those
your boy Mr. T Performance needs to become Zanzibar Ekthelion.
That would be better. That would be better.
Done. And everybody will remember.
Douglas DeGroot trying to shut the door closed, and I don't think it's going to work. Maybe it did. Nope. Yeah, he got it. Okay. Good work, Douglas. Douglas up to 23rd overall, and that's P8 for the GT4s. I thought he would be higher. He qualified, like, I believe 6th, so he's not having a great race. But there is plenty of time to change that. Richard Derouche, or Derouche, looking down the inside of Fran Machuca, and he gets the job done on the RRS admin. Actually, I guess that's the other thing we could check, which admin is doing the best, and right now the answer to that is Fran Machuca in 5th place. And
Currently in 93rd place, me.
further back, we've got Max Simmons losing 2 spots there. Wonder if he's got problems. Alvar Gomez going past, as well as Luciano Ichazo. And a bit of a spoiler, I do recall from Zach Hemstrom's stream that Max Simmons, who's a GT3 driver, was actually having a hard time overtaking him at points. I think he damaged the car in some relatively significant way at some point. Keep an eye out for that. Could mean he flipped the car, Byron. Get ready for that.
I like it.
Mike Stoppville clearing through some GT4 traffic here. That is T Performance, Douglas DeGroat, and ahead of them is a GT3 car of Moly Moly Moly, who might still be on the lead lap at this point, actually. But call me a cynic. I don't think it's going to last for long.
Maybe it stands for TRT Performance.
I think it's TXEO, I think.
I don't really care.
I think we should change his name to Jack Maris Tac Theratrix.
Nope. And Moly Moly gets out of the way after making a mistake, and Mike Stoppville goes through.
He is the racer formerly known as Mascot.
Next on his list is James Butler, who I believe is running 7th in the GT4 class. In fact, we are about 1.5 minutes away from that positional rundown that I did promise people, so I'll do my best to give you a full rundown of the positions.
I'm fine, I can see them.
Hey, people like this. Shannon Flynn running in 5th place as he's trailing Alex Loeffler. Alex Loeffler seems to always have someone on his bumper. Like, it just doesn't matter at any time. He's never alone. Never gets to just, like, daydream in the car or anything. Always focusing on the task at hand. And if I were Javier Perez-Torres and Shannon Flynn, I'd want past him pretty quick, because you've got James Butler, who we know has got some pace coming up behind you. Shannon Flynn is getting that done. Getting past the BMW, and we'll then probably let Mike Stoppville through. There we go. Stoppville picks up position. Richard Derouche going for that top BMW honors against Ariel Zettoni. He's been on a bit of a charge, Grande Ricardo, showing some speed. And a bit of a dent in the side of Ariel Zettoni's car there, so he took a whack at some point. And Derouche has moved into the coveted top BMW position.
A likely
Also
story.
known as 3rd place.
Mr. Matt Higgs, I guess we should ask, what car would you have run if you were part of this Enduro series here, this 2020 multi-class affair?
I believe that would probably be the 1972 Firebird with the T-top.
Oh, there's the mandatory pit stop markers that I noticed. I guess I was referring to earlier. I guess they only pop up at the pit window.
Also, well, before I answer that, it's time for the position rundown. Go ahead, Mert.
Mike Stoppmill leads the way from Carmine Carpentiero, Richard Derouche in the top BMW honors in 3rd, Ariel Zettoni, Wayne Hutchinson, Travis Walls, Christoph Verstappen, Fran Machuca, Martin Evans, Luciano Ichazo, Alvar Gomez, Paul Riccobeni, Max Simmons, Josiah Jerome. I believe those are the only cars on the lead lap. Rounding off GT3, we have Moly Moly, Jesus Huerta, and Sean Kenny. In the GT4 category, we have Zach Hemstrom leading from Sergio Mengual, Michael Magas, Shannon Flynn, Alex Loeffler, Javier Perez-Torres, James Butler, Douglas DeGroat. TO Performance, we'll go with that, I guess. I don't know. Scott Greenfield, Dixon Hurst, Demetrius Simeonitis, and then we have Toby Howard, John Picha, and I believe everyone else is retired. Noel Robbins, Jesse Hampton, Zerai Garunian, and Mauricio Delgato.
And that's just your top 35. Wait till he finishes the rest.
Oh, I mean, if we could get more than 35 on a grid, that... Well, we can. We get 36, exactly.
Yeah, didn't somebody crash it out or something at this point?
Yeah, Federico Zvanger was unable to join for the race. Josiah Jerome going past Max
We found the
Simmons
damage.
there.
He has no rear bumper.
No rear bumper. They can't explain how he's going so slow. There's got to be some engine damage.
Maybe that's why one of the BMWs had front end damage.
Could be, could be. Mike Stockmill continues to lead the way. Everyone will have to make a mandatory pit stop, so when that red icon turns, I believe it'll turn green, that would mean that they have served their pit stop. And a pit stop here will probably definitely entail tires and fuel, because the tires were wearing quite quickly at this track on a number of the cars, specifically the left front.
I can't think of why.
Could be the fact that it's flat and that tire's doing a lot of work. Javier! Oh, Javier! I thought, oh, maybe you can come back at him. James Butler's in this mix now too, so Javier needs to get a giddy up and get past Alex Loeffler, because he's going to be chow bait for the Porsche of James Butler, who is very quick in that older Porsche. Seems like the older Porsche is considered better. Oh, I gotta say, we have our first pit stopper. Dixon Hurst has served his mandatory pit stop. Have to wonder if he'll have to make another one, though, with 87 minutes to go. Mike Stopp will continue to lead the way. I'd like to be able to tell you how much of a lead he has, but, it's not 2 minutes and it's not 3 minutes like the game's claiming. So
No, it is.
It's 17 hours, 2 minutes, and exactly
6 seconds.
VP still on the tail of Alex Loeffler, and they've got James Butler coming up on them to try to break up the BMW party. BMWs don't like being alone; they get lonely. Although, actually, I am very lonely. So it's ruining the theme. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, wait, one of these is a GT4. Never mind. 2 wide. 2 wide. Martin Edmonds going for a move on Fran Machuca. Fran's dropped way back. What's happened to Fran? He's lost his top admin. Well, wait, no. Top admin spot now belongs to Travis Wallace. 6th place. This whole thing was his dream child, including taking these cars to Macau for a multi-corners race.
Oh, God.
I am throwing shade. He has agreed to change that, but I am throwing shade that it took that long to correct the schedule.
Everybody knows we only race stadium trucks at Macau.
That would probably be less destructive.
I hope so. Let's make it happen.
Mike Stockmill coming up to, that is Dixon Hurst. GT4 cars, so not racing him. Makes the move on the straightaway. Just keeping my eye out for any pit stops, but it doesn't look like anyone is going to make the move yet, aside from Dixon Hurst. We had a couple pit stops before the window opened. I know that Sean Kenny, for example, who is currently next up on Mr. Stockmill's list to lap, had to make a pit stop, of course, to replace the bonnet of his car, and that is why he is running in last of the GT3s, and in fact is still behind a good chunk of GT4s on track. Christoph Verstappen going down the inside of Wayne Hutchinson and gets the job done. You gotta admire Wayne Hutchinson, though. Definitely not one of the fastest guys on the track, but he's constantly near the front because he just doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. So that definitely is a key to success over a 2-hour period.
And the cocaine.
The cocaine helps as well. Also, he's really good at managing tires and gas.
I hear.
He is the first guy to ever do an endurance race. Oh, drive-through penalty for Toby Howard, speeding in the pit lane. Interesting that apparently he didn't serve his mandatory pit stop, so Heard what he was doing in the pit lane.
Power slides.
I mean, apparently speeding is the answer, but... Still have most of the cars running. We have 31 of the 35 that started still taking part. Oh! I feel like Moly Moly might be a little bit roughed up after that. Contact with his little brother, the GT4 Porsche. Oh, and revenge!
Oh no!
Moly Moly and Simeonitis off the track. Porsche not doing anything to help itself. They're tripping over their own brand mates. I'm sure the Porsche factory is not happy. Fran Machuca and Martin Edmonds getting past Michael Magas. Hey, 3 admins on the track together. Oh, Martin off the track. I may have just cursed him.
It's the commentator's curse.
Inevitable.
Seems like Martin is not having a good day at the turn. He went off there on lap 1 as well.
Well, he's all jacked up on straight caffeine and alcohol, and he's having a little bit of trouble keeping things between the lines and figuring out where lines are. And
I mean, he probably did drink a lot of cold brew before this.
I hear he just straps the bottle to his head with duct tape and runs a line into his mouth.
Oh, so kind of like my beer helmet idea.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, racers, get yourself a beer helmet. It saves you a lot of problems with the beverage. This is Mike Stoppmill coming up to, that is Scott Greenfield. Always a little bit interesting when he's coming up to a Turner car, because of course there's a GT4 and a GT3 BMW Turner. And the two cars don't look that dissimilar when they're not, like, standing side by side. James Butler fighting his way into 6th place ahead of Alex Loeffler, who has finally dropped a couple of positions. Javi P got through him a while back. Paul Riccobetti in that mix too. That 69 Corvette is Paul Riccobetti. Alex Loeffler looking to take a comeback. As much as we'd like seeing Mike Stoppmill, I would have preferred seeing Alex Loeffler try to get that position back. What do you think of Mike Stoppmill's livery here, Byron?
It's horrible.
Horrible.
I don't like it at all.
It's a little harsh, don't you think?
It's Super Trash 5000.
A little rude.
Well, I mean, it's kind of rude of him to pick the worst one.
Oh, I mean that is a fair logical play. We have had our second mandatory pit stop served. Toby Howard is clear to go to the end, although again with 80 minutes to go, I expect he'll be in for another pit stop before the end of this race. John Picha in the BGB Motorsport Porsche, running 13th in class and 30th overall. Then we are over to Mike Stoppmill, who is coming up to Max Simmons to lap him for, I think, the first time, but I could be mistaken. I believe he's only lapped up to Moly Moly, and we still have 14 cars on the lead lap, but I think that number's getting reduced to 13 pretty soon here. What do you gentlemen think?
I don't think so.
I like peanut butter.
That's not a thing, that's a statement.
Oh, my bad.
As that, I think, is where Simmons is done. Like Stoppmill puts him down a lap.
I'd say he just puts him down.
Stoppmill with a fastest lap of 25.621 around here. Probably the fastest lap of anybody. I don't really think there's anyone really
that's
on
safe.
his pace. It's probably a safe bet. Third pit stop of the day, Demetrius Simeonitis has served his mandatory pit stop down in 28th position. I mean, seeing a Demetrius on the field makes me remember, of course, our famous Black Russian Byron, Demetrius Ungawa.
Indeed.
I think
Literally
those
no one will
days
have
were
a
before
goddamn
me.
clue what the hell you're talking about.
I suspect people don't know what I'm talking about 90% of the time.
No, we just don't listen.
Douglas DeGrout has done his mandatory pit stop, so he is good to go to the end. As Max Simmons just dropped, I think that might be an internet connection problem that is flicking up there. Because I doubt he overtook Alvar Gomez and Josiah Jerome twice just to lose it twice. That seems odd. Somebody going down into the pit lane there as Mike Stockmill goes around. That is a BMW from the GT4 category. I'm not sure who that is, though. It's not Michael Magas or Alex Loeffler. It's got to be Teo Performance, I think, is the answer, because he is dropping.
Tejano Performance.
Ah, Tejano. That's a good one.
Actually, I thought we established it was Jack's mistake there at Drake's.
No, I'm going to abuse his name every way I can. Like, this is my way of cyberbullying. Thank you.
Indeed.
I did not condone cyberbullying. Except against Michael Magas, of course.
I mean, you participated in it constantly.
It's team building.
We're not on a team, so I don't really see how that's team building.
The commentary team.
You guys are the B team, like I said. It's me and Byron are the A team, you and Cole are the B team. That's how this works.
No. We're taking over.
The recording's correct.
I invite those in the comments to respond to Matt Higgs' claim that he is taking over. Because he is not the Blue World Order. Or
Correct.
the New World Order. Or the Latino World Order.
Although, if he was in the Blue World Order, he would definitely be Hollywood Nova.
Yeah, Cole is Big Stevie Cool. That's how that works.
I kind of view Cole as more of the Blue Meanie.
I don't know about that. Mike Stockmill lapping through. That was Douglas Root and Alex Loeffler, who I was going to say are maybe fighting for position, but that is not the case. I think DeGroat is actually a lap down to Loeffler, so it's not a fight for position behind them. Next up, James Butler, and then Javi Perez Torres for the Mercedes of Mike Stockmill. How are the other Mercedes doing? Wayne Hutchinson's in 7th. Jesus Huerta is in 16th. And Sean Kenny is having a miserable day down in 24th. The only man who's not racing his own class of car.
I believe the Mercedes are going very fast across the landscape, yeah?
I mean, in the hands of Mike Stockmill, they're going really fast. I don't know about the other ones. Actually, no, Wayne's doing good.
The other ones are on their way to Poland.
Where they would go fight some horses. Mike Stockmill coming up to some lap traffic here. That is Tail Performance. That is, I believe, that is Zach Hipstrom, actually. Nope, not the class leader. I was going to say class leader, but it's Sergio Mengual. Oh, Porsche off. That's. I don't think that. No, I do not think that is. Hemstrom. I think that is one of the other Rennsport 1 Porsches. There's a couple of Rennsport 1 Porsches, and they look kind of similar.
Actually, Hemstrom just lost 2 positions.
Oh, okay, so that is Hemstrom. Looks like that is Hemstrom as he loses spots to Michael Magas and Shannon Flynn. And that would make sense, as this is Michael Magas getting lapped by Stockmill. So, yep, that would make sense. Battle of the Corvettes. Paul Riccobeni and Luciano Echaza. This is for position. This is the battle for 10th place. And between the 2 surviving Corvettes, there was a 3rd C7, but Zarai Garanian has parked it for the day. Mike Stockmill continuing to lead the way as if there was ever any doubt.
I have at least a partial doubt.
Partial doubt? Really? 99%?
Well, I mean, there's always that chance.
I mean, it's fair enough.
I'd say 99.9% of germs.
He has been beaten in the past, but it is a rare occasion, and usually accompanied with song and dance.
4 out of 5 dentists would agree.
What? What?
You've broken Higgs. You know what? We've been giving a lot of love to Mike Stoppel, but I got to give a shout out to Carmine Carpintero, who is nowhere near him, to be clear, but has been in second pretty much this whole time. Having a really solid race. And he wanted to run GT4, as if he wouldn't smoke the GT4. Max Simons has been in and out of the pit lane, so he is good to go to the end.
That may not be the only thing he's smoking.
I mean, it's possible.
All the greats smoke.
State your sources. Cite your sources on this map.
Keke Rosberg. James Hunt.
Yeah, doing what James Hunt did is not considered a good plan. It's how you end up dead before you hit 50 years old.
Who does he think he is, Kobe Bryant?
Oh, too soon. Too soon. Mike Stoppmill coming up to the GT4 class leader, actually. So these are the two leaders, actually, right here. Mike Stoppmill and Sergio Mengual. In the meantime, there's a battle going on between Max Simmons and Jesus Huerta, which I would probably prefer to see over this blue flag. But alas, that is what we've been given.
I blame the Americans.
Sean Kenny is falling down the order again. Don't know if he's in for a pit stop or if he's made another mistake. On the bright side, with the mandatory pit stop on, we'll know soon enough, because that little red square will turn green if he's in the pits. Mike Stoppmill continuing to lead the way by a lot. We don't know how much. Is there anyone you gentlemen want to shout out for having a particularly good performance? Anyone that's increasing their stock in your eyes?
Zach Hemstrom.
I would like to say that the last album by... Oh, different kind of performance, my bad. I mean, Moley started in the pits, and he's up to 14th fucking place. And your boy, Wallhacks, has gone from second to last to 5th. So, I mean...
It's been a yo-yo of a race for Travis. He's still top admin. He's got that going.
Well done.
So it looks like Sean Kenny did not pit when he dropped those positions, because he's either that or he's still in the pits, which I guess is not impossible. But it looks like he must have just made a mistake. As Shannon Flynn takes second place in the GT3s or GT4s away from Michael Magas. By the way, just a quick odd stat here. There are only 2 Lotuses in the GT4 class. They are running first and second place. I think maybe some drivers undersold the Lotus's ability. Or possibly more likely, Sergio Mengual and Shannon Flynn are just fantastic drivers who are showing up today and doing their thing.
These are all possible things.
My shoutouts for performance are going to go to... Honestly, I got to go with Sergio Mengual. He's doing a great job in the GT4 class. Has dominated the GT4 proceedings so far. Really showing off as the stock mill of GT4. Haven't raced with him before, so pleasure sharing the track with him. And other than that, I'm going to give a quick shoutout to... Try to pick a GT3 driver, which I'm going to have to go with Carmine Carpintero, who I knew was a really solid driver, but he is proving it today, running second place.
Actually, I changed my mind. I choose my Stockmill.
I don't really know if you could be a standout driver when we expected you to win, but hey, go with it.
Actually, I changed my mind again. I pick Michael Magas.
He is running in a solid podium position in GT4, so that is a pretty reasonable pick. plenty of time to go here. We have not hit the halfway point yet, and a lot of people still have pit stops to make.
And then?
Well, then it's a 1 hour run to the final, basically.
Oh my goodness.
Max Simons has taken his pit stop.
That happened, I think, a couple of laps ago. Hasn't been any pit stops lately, which is to be expected. I'm not expecting much in the way of like planned pit stops until we get to about the 1 hour mark. I think anyone who's made the pit stop at this point, one of two things was happening. Their tire wear was considerably more than they thought it would be, A, or B would be damage, or otherwise kind of forced to pit to fix up the car. Mike Stopmill going through some more traffic there. That is Dimitrios Simeonidis. I believe that this one is Zach Hemstrom.
You would believe that.
Could be another Rennsport car, but I don't know. I don't know if there's another Rennsport Porsche. I mean, I think Delgado was in one, but he is, of course, out of the race. Let's see, what GT4 Porsches do we still have running? We have Hemstrom, we have Butler. That's definitely not Butler. It's not Simeonidis. It's not Picha. It's not Hurst. Could be Toby Howard, actually. I think Toby Howard might be running that car. And there's a similar one. Ooh, Porsche off in the side there. Didn't catch who that was other than a black and red one. I think it was a GT3 Porsche. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
So are you trying to identify things based on color? That's a little racy.
I mean, that's how you do in racing, my friend.
That's racist.
It is racist. Christoph Verstappen has served his mandatory pit stop. John Picha going off the track there. Actually, I think that is Hemstrom at the front of this convoy. I think.
No, you're wrong.
I think it is. So I think that was Toby Howard in the more darkly colored Porsche that was off the track earlier. I really should remember, as I was racing for Hemstrom for a good chunk of this race. Not quite where the pit stops will probably happen. I think we still got another 3 laps before we start seeing a mad dash for the pit lane.
That seems excessive. I'm in.
Indeed. Does beg the question, what has happened to Fran Machuca? Because he was running up in 3rd place at one point, down in 11th right now. So, bad times have found the RRS admin. Michael Magas here on the tail of Shannon Flynn's Lotus, trying to break up the Lotus party at the top of GT4.
Put him in the wall.
Definitely can be done here. There's a whole wall there around the oval. In fact, I think we saw some people in the wall earlier in the race.
Indeed, I enjoyed it.
Stopbill continue to lead the way here with dominance. We haven't seen Carmen Carpintero near him at all in this race, so a very comfortable lead for the man who's trying to make an esports career out of the whole racing thing. And we wish him well and hope he does really well. So get ready for that. Mike Stopmill, esports star.
Well, I don't know. He's not really that fast. He hasn't beaten me even once.
It's because you've not deemed to share the track with him.
I'd have to use at least 3% of my power.
Ooh, Fran Machuca dropping again.
What do you think? Who do you think you are, Shaggy?
That was the joke.
Michael Magas has got an inside run on Shannon Flynn towards turn 1. Can he make the pass happen here for 2nd place in GT4? In the background, that's Wayne Hutchinson leading. Hey, could we have stuck with that, please? Instead, we go to Mike Stopmill, who I think is that's either Scott Greenfield or Fran Machuca in the background. I'm not sure which of the two Turner BMWs. It looks like Flynn has held off Magas for the time being, and the Lotus 1-2 continue.
Hit him with the old 1-2.
Indeed. They are the Death Lotus. Stockmill making his way through here for turn 1-2. This is a highly, actually difficult section of the track, it must be said. Really test the grip of your tires and will bring the heat up in the left front really quickly. Most of these cars are running on pretty much, you know, tire that could cook an egg at this point.
I mean, that would be awesome. You could have a snack halfway through.
It looks like we might have lost Alvar Gomez from the race. He is back in 31st position. I don't think there's a way he could have got there without retiring.
Oh, some BMWs had a problem.
Travis Wallace getting a little angry with some of the lap traffic.
Some BMW is having a problem there.
I didn't catch who it was, though, so we'll have to see if anyone drops. Problem, of course, with that is there are a couple of people. I think it's Fran Machuca. So Fran may be having problems again.
I don't know anything about Travis being angry about anything. He's so calm, he gives chamomile anxiety.
Indeed. He does. We would never say anything about him being angry and perhaps breaking his hardware in a fit of rage.
He may or may not have jerked his stick right off.
Indeed. Sean Kenny has almost gotten past all of the GT4s. He's just got Sergio Manuel left. So, working on that. Fran Machuca in the pit lane to serve his mandatory pit stop. And that is Douglas DeGroat spinning out behind Mike Stockmill. He basked in his glory, and it didn't end well. Dixon Hurst getting out of the way of Mike Stockmill, as well as Alex Loeffler. BMW and John Picha exploring track limits just a little bit.
Go Peachlington, go.
So we should start seeing the pit stops really get heated up here in the next minute or so. Maybe 2 minutes. So about a lap or two. See how that goes. Javier Perez-Torres gets out of the way of his mentor, Mike Stockmill. They, of course, were teammates at the... speaking of which, Stockmill in for his mandatory pit stop. We'll see if he can come out still in the lead. I think the money is that he'll come out in the lead still.
He is a minute ahead of him.
Here is the man chasing him. Actually, no, Carmine's not that far away from him. I think we were overselling the gap, to be honest. Let's see here. There's the pit lane. That's where Stockmill is, and Carmine's going to take the lead. So lap 42, we have our first lead change of the race. Carmine Carpintero to the front of the pack. The Swiss racer in the very stylish black carbon Porsche.
It does look good.
It does.
It's makes me moist.
That's a little overshare.
I could hear a little bit more.
Also overtaking Mike Stockmill during his pit stop, Richard DeRouche, Travis Wallace, and Ariel Zattoni, aka the BMW 3.
Everything better comes in threes.
Little bit of a defensive line there by Douglas. Now, admittedly, I'm a little bit surprised Carmen would go for the overtake there when you have this straightaway here that you can just blow him away on. But a little bit inconsiderate there by Douglas on the blue flags. Drive-through penalty, track limit abuse for Josiah Jerome. Mike Stockmill rejoins the race in 8th place. He is the leading pit stopper, but down to 8th on track. So Carmine will get to lead for a while here from DeRouche, Wallace, Zattoni, Hutchinson, Edmonds, and
Riccabongo Racing.
Bit of a disturbing note. Luciano Ichazo and Josiah Jerome, as well as Morgan Molly, a full pit stop behind Mike Stockmill.
I'm in favor of abolishing pit stops and just waiting for everybody to stop racing.
Jesus Huerta is dropping, so that could signify that the Mercedes driver is in the pit lane. Not sure yet. Let's see what happens. Ariel Zatoni moving into third place ahead of Darush, and Wallace also overtaking him. So maybe he's in the pit lane as well. Sean Kenny finally overtakes Bengual and is now no longer racing GT4s. Although that might explain why it took so long.
I think you have some damage there.
That's a deformed hood.
I believe they should just be bolting these cars together to make GT7s.
It's a bit weird that his hood is that messed up, because of course we saw Sean Kenny lose the entire bonnet earlier, so it's a bit weird that they did such a terrible job fixing it. Luciano Echazo getting a track limit abuse penalty. I do understand that I believe these track limit abuse penalties are occurring around the pit entrance. There were some people that were cutting it a bit early. Or a bit late. I can't remember which it was, but I believe that's, yeah, there we are. Chazo is in the pit lane, having received his penalty. Makes a stop ahead of Martin
Carmine
Edmonds.
Carpentiero in for his pit stop.
Indeed. We'll see if Travis Wallace stays out to lead a lap, or if he is going to make his pit stop now as well. Richard Darush is going to go into the pits. I see Alex Loeffler going in there as well. Darush is rejoining, actually. So he was in the pits a little while ago. Track limit abuse penalty for Ariel Zatoni. And into the lead goes the admin, Travis Wallace. We have our third different leader of the day. You're on lap 44. Top 5 have yet to pit. We've also yet to see Moly pit. Chazo, I believe, did pit and is in the pits right now. He got the drive-through abuse penalty, so presumably he'll be rejoining. Zach Hemstrom rejoining from the pit lane, as well as Michael Magas, as they come to the pit lane speed limit line. And you're going to see something you generally don't see here, John.
We're going too wide out of the pit lane. Boom! In the wall!
We are going too wide out of the pit lane, and Vegas has got the chop on him.
Abusive track limits. Please report back to the pit lane.
So what happened there is via Zach Hemstrom's recordings, we learned that he was on automatic pit, the AI control pit. The AI control pit does not release the speed limiter as quickly as a human can, so he got beat out of the pits.
Cha-cha-cha.
Although in fairness, I was ahead of him before the pit stops. I had to make a longer pit stop to fix some suspension damage that I was carrying. So that unfortunately extended my pit window.
Well, if you throw the suspension out, then you don't have to carry it. And you can go faster.
Not really. A car without suspension doesn't go very fast. Travis Wallace in from the lead. Looks like Wayne Hutchinson will take the lead of this race, which is... I mean, Byron, how many times have we seen this, that Wayne Hutchinson is by far the longest running car in an Enduro race?
More than once, probably at least 5 or 6 times.
Travis is coming out of the pits really quickly. He must not have actually done a pit stop.
That would be interesting.
Either that or he's been running some absolutely baller laps, because he has maintained the lead over Wayne Hutchinson and more notably the pitted car, Mike Stoppmill, but his mandatory pit stop is not cleared. So I wonder if maybe he was caught by the drive-through bug going into the pit lane.
I demand a Hutchinson versus Walby one-on-one Enduro duel to the death.
That would be intriguing. No pit stops allowed. Just
no pit stops.
Yeah.
One-on-one fight to the death.
Indeed. Shannon Flynn rejoins behind Michael Magas and Zach Hemstrom, so he lost 2 spots in the pit stops. Javier Perez-Torres is our GT4 leader, but has yet to pit, so that is artificial. But look at Javi going deep into the race.
Javier.
So yet to pit, we have Travis Wallace, Wayne Hutchinson, Sean Kenny. Here is Wallace to the pit lane line again, and a drive-through track limit abuse penalty for Travis. This is going to be a problem for him. see if he does his pit stop this time, because he did not last time. Wayne Hutchinson does take the lead now. We were talking about it before, and now it has happened. Here on lap 46. That is Sean Kinney behind him, as well as Martin Edmonds. So those guys are not on his lap. They're not fighting with him. That being said, they have... Well, Edmonds, anyways, has much fresher tires, so we may see him make some overtakes happen. I believe this was the point of the race where Sean Kinney and Martin were debating whether you could overtake the leader if you fell off the lead lap. The answer is yes, guys. Come on. And in the GT4 class, Javi Perez Torres yet to pit along with Scott Greenfield. I saw Scott Greenfield going in the pits, so he is serving his pit stop now. So it's really just Javi in this group. And by the way, a bit of a pile-up here for Luciano Chazo to work his way through. Michael Magas leading the battle for second place in GT4 against Zach Hemstrom and Shannon Flynn. Will Wayne Hutchinson go for another lap? It looks like he will.
17 more laps.
I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, it's Wayne. He might. This is the guy who saw an Enduro at Suzuka and said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to pit. Just going to go flag to flag. Another penalty for Travis Wallace. Sort yourself out, Travis. Jesus. One of the Porsches off there. I think that's Toby Howard. Infield. And it looks like Travis has decided to call it quits, so we are down to 29 cars. We've lost 3 GT3s and 3 GT4s. And we may be close to losing another GT3 because Josiah Jerome, some weird driving tactics there as he comes up to the battle for second place in GT4. On the inside of... Ooh, 3 wide. Hemstrom's looking down the inside of Michael Magas. Can he make the job go? He's got the inside line. I don't think Magas has anything to respond with at this point. And it's still showing him in third. Oh, right. Javi's in the lead. Right. I'm thrown off. We're talking about battle for second. It's a battle for third on track. Second in reality, because Javi does need to make a pit stop.
Wait, you're talking about Battletech again?
I mean, I don't ever stop talking about Battletech.
If Wayne Hutchinson was a mech, which mech would he be?
Wayne Hutchinson, what mech would he be? Wayne Hutchinson is totally a hunchback.
Rude, but okay.
The hunchback is a great mech. It is one of my favorite medium mechs in all the Battletechs. In fact,
what if you?
It is
what if you had a
actually
hunch front?
It is actually my favorite from the old the Battletech TV series. Sergio Manuel, who is effectively the leader of GT4, but currently running in second until Javi makes his pit stop. Falling down a lap there to Carmine Carpentier, who's currently running in third, but will eventually be second when Wayne Hutchinson makes his pit stop. And in fact, Javi appears to be in the pits because Manuel has just taken the GT4 lead. So we are waiting on Wayne Hutchinson and Sean Kinney, the 2 longest runners. Although an asterisk does have to go beside Kinney's name. I do believe he made a pit stop early on that was outside the window, so he's not on his original set time.
Disqualified.
He has finally gotten to the point where he is not in last place. He is ahead of Jesus Huerta. Drop back to 15th. I believe that is Mike Stoppmill coming up to the leader, Wayne Hutchinson. He is the 4th car in line here, I do believe. So getting pretty close. Javier has rejoined in 7th amongst the GT4. So that long run, I don't think really worked out in his favor. I think he lost a spot to Loeffler. So maybe not the greatest idea. Maybe went a lap or two too long. But hey, got some laps led. That's pretty cool.
And that gets you a free corn dog.
It might somewhere.
Corn dog.
As Wayne Hutchinson continues to show that he is the leader of the race, really in name only, because that Mercedes does not have pace right now. Wayne, get in the pit lane. Get in the pit lane, Wayne.
Pit lane, wait. Pit lane, wait.
We've got less than 50 minutes here, Wayne. You've gone deep. You've gone hard. You've gone over 70 minutes. It's time to get in the pits. Let's see if he pits this time around. Mike Stoppmill has caught him. He is indeed the fourth car in this line. That is Martin Edmonds and Paul Riccobeni, who are fighting over 7th place, but also being super cautious not to take out the leader. Mr. Higgs, have you ever been in a position like this where you're on fresh tires and you're being held up by a car, but you don't want to risk it all to pass him? You really don't.
You must
yes.
the biscuit.
At Catalunya, when I was overtaking, I think possibly your cousin, where I'd hurry up my chuff.
That's a different, though. That's a blue flag scenario. This is kind of weird in the sense that you're down the lap. But you're
oh no, I'm never done. I've never done a lap.
Oh, you just haven't done a long enough race then?
Oh, I have. I did a 2-hour race at Spa once in ACC.
Well, it is Martin Edmonds who's gone for it, and Mike Stoppmill is going to take the lead back on track. He ain't going to wait for that pit stop. He's blinking a little bit out of existence, so since this is recordings from Martin's point of view, that pertains that he's probably blinking on Martin's screen too.
Well,
Adds a little bit to the... oh, contact in the background!
Was that Huerta?
That was Jesus Huerta, and I want to say that was a BMW that had darker coloring. I'm going to go with Teo Performance, because he is dropping spots, and that does look like that was his livery.
Is that like he related to that Manatee Teo guy, the foosball player?
I mean, probably. So we'll go with it. I mean, at this point, I'm tempted to just start calling him overcompensation. But, you know, that's just me. James Butler on the tail of Shannon Flynn. This is a battle for 4th place in the GT4 category. And there is your race leader once again, Mike Stoppmill. Back out in front. Is Wayne still out there? Oh, God. Wayne! Wayne,
Get him, Wayne!
Get in the pit lane, Wayne. Get in the pit lane.
Pit lane, Wayne Hutchinson.
Come on, Wayne, get in the pit lane.
Wayne, you've already got the longest of anyone. Like no one can take the record from you. Get in the pit lane.
Keep going. Win the race. Put Stoppmill on the wall and just keep going.
Speaking of which, the only other guy who's not served his mandatory pit stop is Sean Kenny. He's still in last in the GT3s. That's got to be a bit of a ball buster.
Well, I mean, thanks for pointing it out, jerk.
I'm going to. He told me that I could. I'm going to use that privilege. Probably didn't help that he changed cars right before the race, because he was going to race the 2018 Porsche. And he was complaining he was having problems with it. And I asked him, okay, why do you not like GT3 cars? He's like, well, I didn't like the rough and I didn't like the Porsche. I'm like, have you considered that you just don't like Porsches? But his performance in the Merc here, not been great. So there may be something to his dislike of the GT3 category. By the way, one of the Porsches there is running without a front end. I think that's John Beecham. Shannon Flynn still on the tail of James Butler. I have to look at Shannon Flynn's lap chart because it was bizarre. He went from being one of the fastest GT4s to one of the slowest, kind of like on an oscillation. Be interesting to see if that was really just kind of like, if that was actually what was happening. Oh, Martin Evans makes a mistake. Paul Riccobeni moves into the top admin position. Go Paul. I'm in 7th place. Not a great day for the admins, if we're being completely honest, though.
Well, I mean, they got to race while answering questions on Discord at the same time. It's rough.
It can be. It can be.
I can't relate.
Actually, a bit of an oddity. I think Christoph Verstappen has fallen off the lead. Oh, no, wait, he's up in 4th place. Okay, that's Verstappen coming up to lap then. Okay, I was going to say, it would be very weird. Wayne Hutchinson, by the way, is dropping like an absolute stone. He's back to 5th place. Get in the pits, Wayne. Get in the pits.
Don't do it. Don't listen to him.
You were
That's
racing.
the coward's way out.
You were racing against guys like Verstappen earlier in this race, and now you are going to be a pit stop behind them. Get in the pits.
That's the coward's way out. No,
He's
no.
in the pits. All right, for those keeping track at home, that was a. Let's see here. Oh no, he's not in the pit lane. Jesus Christ. Oh, he is. He's coming out. Okay, he's coming out. Okay.
He served it.
So he raced from the 1 hour mark to the 44 minute, or the 2 hour mark to the 44 minute mark. So he went, let's see, 16 minutes. That's 76 minutes.
Collision with Stoffmeal.
Indeed, collision there with Ariel Zatoni. I do believe Ariel may be getting a penalty for that for unsafe rejoin.
What a jerk.
I was consulting with Stuart Jack Hunvikson earlier, and I do believe that was one of the penalties being handed down. Sean Kenny has yet to pit, and I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna put a Discord secret out here. If it wasn't for me, Sean Kenny would have got his ass black flag because I was the one who was like, Sean, you need to pit. And he listened to me. That was a good call. So he'll be pitting in the near future.
Well done.
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
How could you tell him our secrets?
Well, let's be honest here. I'm not competing with Sean Kenny. I'm in a completely different class, so him getting disqualified brings me no joy, man. So, there's no personal gain. I'm not going to take the karma hit. So Mike Stoffmill continues to lead from Carpentiero, DeRouche, Verstappen, Hutchinson in 5th. So he's overtaken Zatoni. Zatoni we did see have that off-track moment. Rick Benny, Edmonds, Ichazo, and Jerome, your top 10. And in GT4, with all the pit stops sorted out, Sergio Miguel leads from Zach Hemstrom, Michael Magas, James Butler, Shannon Glenn, Javier Perez Torres, Alex Loeffler, Douglas DeGroat, Mr. Overcompensation himself, T.O. Performance, and Scott Greenfield. I believe that was the top 10. Simeonitis, Hurst, Picha, and Howard are still running. We are down to 29 cars, started with 35, technically 36, but Vanger did not start the race, so we're not going to count him. Stop getting around James Butler. Credit, by the way, to Vanger. He tried really hard to get in there. See, here's the problem. Wayne, you were leading the race. Now you're about to be lapped by Mike Stoppman. You went too long, my friend. You went too long.
Or not long enough.
I mean, I guess you could argue as one of the... Oh, Michael Magas with a mistake there on the banking. Paul Riccobeni making the same mistake, so I feel like I'm in good company. As the two Mercedes is looking to overtake, that is Hemstrom in the Porsche, and Stoffmill's going to try and overtake them both, and he does. So Stoffmill has lapped up to Wayne Hutchinson, so that means that only Christopher Verstappen, Richard DeRouche, and Carmine Carpentero are on the lead lap. The only 3 cars, I should say, that are still on the same lap as Mike Stoffmill, which is lap 55.
And everybody else will be summarily executed at the end of the race.
Bit extreme.
And yet incentivized.
Or not extreme enough.
Bit extreme. Martin Edmonds and Ariel Zatoni there, or not Martin Edmonds, Paul Riccobeni and Ariel Zatoni fighting for position there with a lapped car of Hemstrom, and that worked out to Riccobeni's favor as Hemstrom found himself, or Hemstrom kind of inadvertently blocked Zatoni in, although in fairness, his choices were to block in Zatoni or Riccobeni. There wasn't a non-blocking option. Mike Stoffmill coming up to lap that is Moley, who's up to 11th, so perseverance on Moley's part has got him to a decent position.
But the real question is that if somebody runs out of time, do they officially get clock blocked?
Yes. All right, gentlemen. I'm not going to really ask who you're picking to win GT3 because I think you probably have a good feeling on that. but I mean, if you want to give a prediction, you can. Who you got? Who you got for the 3-man GT4 podium? Who are your picks? There's a pretty tight battle. There's a pretty tight battle. Well, I can't go first. I know the answer.
Yeah, we didn't ask you. I was asking Byron.
I don't even know who's racing either car. I have no idea.
It's the orange sense. Ones.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Javier is going to put you all on the wall and win all 3 spots.
Awesome. Great prediction. Go Javier. Higgs, your theories on the map.
I think it's going to be Miguel, Hemstrom, then Magas.
You're calling for no changes. Bold call, Cotton.
Oh, wait. That gives me hints.
This doesn't really. It's a bold. It's a bold call, Cotton.
Maybe Magas will put Hemstrom in the wall and check Discord.
We're going with Hemstrom in the wall. Mike Stockmill and Moly lapping class leader in GT4, Mr. Sergio Miguel. By the way, again, another shout out to Sergio, having a fantastic race. Was a bit of a pain in the butt to coordinate with on Discord, but we got it done, and I'm happy we got it done. Solid addition to the grid. So that's Toby Howard. You know, credit to Toby actually. He's not had a fast race, but it looks like his Porsche is actually relatively intact. So kudos there, keeping it from being destroyed.
Keeping it real.
And to be honest, just finishing this race, like we're approaching the 90-minute mark. Very just impressive, just on that level. A lot of sim drivers would not have the patience, the awareness, and the endurance to really get this one. So credit to all 29 men, or possibly women, driving this race. Sean Kenny's still not pitted yet. I can't remember when I yelled at him, because I think we're about 6 minutes away from the closing of the mandatory pit window. I do remember he does get in there, but
oh yeah, get right in there.
Get right in there.
Oh, get in deep.
As Mike Stockmill puts a lap on Scott Greenfield. You know, that's got to be the awkwardest place to catch someone with a blue flag, is that turn 1 spot, because they really want to go like hard for the apex. But you really want to go hard for the apex as well, and there's just really no nice way of coordinating it. Which is why you should probably let them through on the straightaway, if we're being honest.
Can I change my podium prediction?
I mean, you can.
I predict it's going to be Miguel, Hemstrom, and then Butler.
Miguel, Hemstrom, and Butler. He's checked the Discord spoilers.
No, I did not. I gave up.
Mike Stockmill putting a lap on one of the GT4 BMWs. Not sure who that was. I think it's performance there. TP, toilet paper. There we go, toilet paper. That's your name now.
Oh snap!
Oh no, he didn't.
Mike Stockmill leading the way. Pick up Paul Riccobeni, who is on the tail of Wayne Hutchinson. By the way, should be mentioned, Wayne, you were up a lap on Paul Riccobeni, then you stayed out way too long, and now Paul is on your tail for position. This did not work. I'm sorry, I have very little to talk about right now other than Wayne Hutchinson's bit of a gaffe on a strategy level, so I gotta do it.
If Wayne Hutchinson worked for Comstar, how much would he cost?
At least 36 Urban there.
That's sizable enough.
It is. That's more than a Timberwolf.
Cha-cha.
Ariel Zatoni also caught up behind Hutchinson. It's a 3-way battle for 5th place going on right now. Mike Stockmill putting a lap on John Picha. I do need to remind myself to ask John Picha why he ran so much of this race without a front end. It feels like a pit stop probably would have been worth it. I will take rebuttal from Matthew Higgs if you would like to provide.
What we're talking about?
Talking about John Peacher running around here most of the race without a front end. Do you think it would have been worth the pit stop to fix the problem?
Oh, definitely. I probably wouldn't be able to stand it.
Luciano Echazo under pressure from Josiah Jerome. That's a battle for 9th place as they come up to James Butler. And I think that's Mike Magas just ahead of them as well. Shannon Flynn has dropped off quite a bit. Still running in 5th place, still having a good race, but kind of what I was talking about earlier with his kind of like oscillating form. It's a bit weird. And back to the fight for 5th place, Wayne Hutch. Honestly, I would like it if the camera just stuck with this fight, because I think it's probably the most interesting thing we've got going on the track right now. I mean, we've got some other things. We got Butler's kind of close to Magas, so there's a bit of a battle there for the final podium spot in GT4. So
why are we watching Stoffmail again? Come on, Mike.
Yeah, there's not really much here for Stoffmail to be doing other than
It's gotta go fast.
Going fast, yeah.
No, he's going fast.
Fast. Well, at some point he probably wants to catch up to Verstappen, Derouche, and Carpintero, who are the 3 cars he's not lapped yet. I guess that's his only real challenge at this point.
Put them all on the wall.
They all must wall in the round I call. Rumble, young man, rumble.
It'll be interesting once Clyde Britton joins the grid for round 2. He was scheduled to be part of this race, but unfortunately could not make it. Signed out. So, looking forward to him joining. Rick Benny is going for it. And this may not be a great time because he's got Moly Moly and he's got Simeonitis in here. So he's got lap traffic and he goes to the wall.
Oh!
And Wayne Hutchinson spun it! It worked out for Rick and Betty, but not really for his own, doing. Wayne back to 8th place. Wayne on the freshest tires.
And with the most damage.
I don't know about that, actually. Again, we have a car running around without a front end.
Well, in this battle.
Indeed. It looks like Sean Kenny finally did clear the mandatory pit stop away. He's running in 15th place. Stop move, passing the campgrounds.
Get you a tent.
Everything good happens in a tent.
Not really sure why they have that bridge there, to be honest. Seems like it just goes to an open field.
No, it gives you access to the rest of the golf course.
Oh! Whoa, Javi! No, Javi!
No!
Doing good. You're doing good things. It's Douglas DeGroat going past him. I don't know if that's for position. It is not. So Javi has lapped everyone behind him except for Douglas, so not going to lose a spot. But he did lose a spot to Alex Loeffler, I think. Or he may have been behind Loeffler. I'm not sure.
He was behind the whole thing.
But not sure what happened there. We came in a bit late to see what really happened with Javi there, but losing it on the way into the banking. Possibly contact with another car, possibly just losing it himself, I don't know.
He just, needs to go find himself.
Mike Stockmill puts a lap on Alex Loeffler. Next on his list is Dixon Hurst. Congratulations to Dixon Hurst, who at this point I believe is officially going to be on the grid for Wednesday, along with Daniel Hernandez and Douglas DeGroat. And Wayne Hutchinson down to 10th place. Ugh. Wayne, it was such a good race going for you, and you wind up falling back into traffic, and tragedy struck.
Correct. That guy keeps improving. We'll have to call him Douglas the Goat.
Oh,
I
that's a
am
good one.
Groot.
Douglas is doing real well. He's actually #1 on the Academy leaderboard right now for the upcoming Suzuka East race this weekend. So,
what's standings for that again?
Zach Hemstrom leads the way from Javier Perez Torres, and then Rochelle Guerin. I'm not sure what it is after that. It gets a little fuzzy.
I think they should all go on Wreckfest and battle it out for the death.
I don't think Hemstrom would really agree with that, because it's been working out pretty well for him so far. 3 wins to his name through 3 rounds, doing real well. There are, of course, 3 races per round, so the 3 wins in 3 rounds is not quite as impressive as it might seem. But
it was until you said that.
But he is the only person who's taken wins at all 3 rounds so far this season, as Rochelle Guerin and Javier Perez-Torres joined him in the winner's circle at Brands Hatch. And then at Zandvoort, it was Douglas DeRote and Javier Perez-Torres. And at Hockenheim, it was Rochelle Guerin and Gustav Ekstrom.
Yeah, Gustav.
Josiah Jerome going through. Unfortunately, I think Gustav's chance at the title is kind of ruined. He's going to miss both Suzuka rounds, so that's going to be a bit of a problem for him. Luciano Echazo and Josiah Jerome fighting over 8th place. Looks like Echazo came out on top of that. No offense, Stop Mill, but I would have probably preferred to see that over this. Wayne Hutchinson, by the way, out of the race. We are down to 28 cars. And we'll see when Toby officially stops being lapped by Wayne Hutchinson. That'll be an interesting experiment.
We'll see what happens.
Mike Stopmill still leading the way. That fastest lap has not changed, which is a little bit strange. I was expecting maybe he would get something done here in the second half of the race, but apparently not. Still a 25.621 fastest lap of the race. Javier Perez-Torres has fought his way back past Alex Loeffler, so he is back into 6th place in GT4. Good work.
The Loeffleizer.
And Mike Stopmill continues to lead from Carmine Carpintero, Richard DeRouche, and Christoph Verstappen, the only 4 cars on the lead lap. In the background there, Paul Riccobeni still fighting with Ariel Zatoni over 5th place. Those two are forming into a really heated rivalry, actually. They're battling for basically the best of the not Mike Stopmills in the 3D Speed Series, which is coming up in 2 days. So get ready for that as we pay a visit to Hockenheim.
Do you think Alex refers to his home as the Lawful House?
Oh, you should suggest that to him. That sounds like a great.
I just did.
Indeed. Alex Loeffler, take this man's advice. He's a genius.
Not untrue.
So that is Shannon Flynn up ahead of Michael Stopmill. So he will put him down under the laps. Flynn is running in 5th place in the GT4 class. He was battling with James Butler, so it'll be interesting. Is James Butler still around this part of the track? It doesn't look like he is. So it looks like James Butler. Oh no, there he is. I would still say he's left Flynn for dead a little bit, but it's not quite that bad. Alright, 25 minutes to go. I'll give you, 25 and change to go. Rundown. Mike Stopmill leads from Carpintero. Richard DeRouche is the leading man who actually hasn't gotten to lead the race, interesting enough. Christoph Verstappen, Paul Riccobeni, Ariel Zatoni, Martin Edmonds, Luciano Echazo, Josiah Jerome, and Moli are top 10 in the GT3 class. In the GT4 class, it's Sergio Mengual, who has been dominating that class all day, from Zach Hemstrom, Michael Magas, James Butler 4th, Shannon Flynn 5th, Alex Loeffler 6th, is back up to 6th ahead of Javier Perez-Torres, who's down to 7th, Douglas DeRote, toilet paper, Scott Greenfield 8th, 9th, and 10th. By the way, 6 BMWs in the top 10 in GT4, including 5 in a row there, actually. So there you go. Interesting facts today.
That sounds pretty gangster.
Although I would say, I don't know, Higgs, who would you say has been the most successful car brand here today? Would you say it's Lotus with that 1st and 5th in the GT4 class?
I'm not sure how the points are given, but it would really depend on how many manufacturers are in the points.
Well, the points go all the way down, so everybody is scoring. It's just
so I would say it's BMW.
I'm just looking that it's like Lotus has got the one with like 2 top 5s and no one else. Like they're, all the Lotuses are having a good day, whereas you can see a couple BMWs are DNF'd, a couple BMWs are not terribly highly placed.
Actually, that does check out because the BMWs will have more total manufacturer points.
Oh, BMW will win any kind of cup in that regard. Really, it's between them and Porsche. That's about it. And there's just not enough Porsches. Because, of course, you've got, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 GT3 cars for Porsche. And then 8 GT4 cars for BMW. And then 8 GT4 cars for BMW. So, like, just on massive numbers, BMW can't be matched here today. Nice stop, Bill continues around. Oh, new fastest lap was at some point posted, a 25.602. He has gotten a little bit faster, not too much, but a little bit. Be interesting to see where Verstappen is, because Verstappen is the last place car on the lead lap, so it'll be interesting to see how close Stoppel is to him. As the Riccobene versus Zatoni battle, once again involving some lap traffic, and again Ariel Zatoni coming out on the bad end of it as James Butler kind of inadvertently blocking him in a little bit there. That is the brakes. Just ask Michael Schumacher at Spa-Francorchamps in 2000 when Mika Hakkinen used the lap car of Ricardo Zonta to take the win.
That was a spectacular move.
It was a spectacular move. That race in general was very good.
I was too young to see it, but I've seen it.
The 2000 season was actually the first F1 season that I watched the entire thing of. So it does.
God, that makes me sound really old.
Does not that old.
Mika Hakkinen, not to be confused with the German driver Hakkinen.
Ooh. Mika Hakkinen came up short that year, though, despite the Spa victory, and Michael Schumacher ended the Ferrari streak of no championships that dated back to 1979.
And this started the 5 in a row.
Indeed. He did. Stop Bill putting a lap on Demetrius Simeonitis there. I think I've gotten the hang of whose livery belongs to what driver. So we're making progress.
That championship also adding together the holy trinity of Todt, Braun, and Schumacher.
I mean, there's a fourth part of that trinity that's just not really talked about, which really it's a quadrilogy, which is Rory Byrne, who designed the Ferrari cars that took Schumacher to the titles, as well as the Benettons that took Schumacher to the titles.
True.
Speeding in the pit lane penalty for Javi Perez Torres. Not sure why he was in the pits, but oh, and it looks like he has retired from the race. Javier is out. We are left with 27 cars.
He was my pick to win the whole thing.
Just as a note, we were saying how long it would take Toby Howard to unlap himself from the retired car of Wayne Hutchinson. He did it 3 laps ago.
Well done.
Maybe not, actually. Hang on, that's the gap to Javi. So we'll have to see. I think Howard's still lapped in that regard. But he will unlap himself from Wayne Hutchinson relatively soon.
Also, fun fact for you racing fans out there, the Benetton team was the Tolman team, who in fact Ayrton Senna made his debut with in 1984.
Indeed, had the great run at Monaco, which people often say was a plot to give Prost the title, despite the fact that it actually stopped him from winning the title. So I've never understood that logic.
And it was also the time where Senna's suspension was about 3 laps from coming out anyways.
Indeed, that is the part of the story that Senna never tells. James Butler putting pressure on Mike Magas, so we'll have to break up this walk down memory lane, because Butler has got some pressure going on here. And this is for a podium in GT4, so it's a big deal.
Oh, God.
And rather than look at it, we're going to look at Mike Stockman.
All I know is that I need somebody to take the clip from Full Metal Jacket and recaption it as a GIF going, "You had best unlap yourself!"
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Oh, do it.
That's why I'm here.
Somebody get on that. As Dixon Hurst falls down another lap there. So, I don't know, back to the Senna bashing. And it's not that I hate Senna, it's just that his godhood status and how people will quote him just becomes annoying after a while.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Anybody named Ayrton's probably just a garbage human.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Ayrton Tobin's a good guy. Love to get Ayrton Tobin on some commentary, actually.
I think he's too short.
Maybe. We already do have little Higgs, though. We waived the height requirement.
That's probably true.
What do you mean the height requirement? How tall are you?
I am 6 feet tall. Mike Stoppmill putting another lap on TP. And next on his list, I believe that is Scott Greenfield, unless it's an M6 up ahead of him.
I'm 6'3".
I mean,
What a midget.
I don't believe it. Oh, Butler going for it. And Magas hanging on to that third place for the time being, but it does seem like the advantage has definitely gone to Butler's side of thing.
And we're gonna watch Mike Stoppmill again.
We're gonna watch Mike Stoppmill again. This is not meant to be negative, Mike. But get off my screen. Actually, I think that's Fran Machuki's coming up to. Actually, not Scott Greenfield. So this is the BMW GT3 car, not the GT4 Turner car. I can confirm that. It's easy to tell when you have an M4 to compare to the M6, but when you don't have it there, it's a little hard. Because the M4 is the only GT4 car that is as big as most of the GT3s. Like Stoppmill coming up to Machuca. This will be for a second lap, I want to say, of Fran.
It is, in fact.
Imagine so. It would have to be a higher number than that, and I don't think we're at that stage yet. James Butler, Michael Magas, we're back to this fight. Hopefully the camera sticks with it for a while. I mean, I'll accept if we go like Riccobene versus Zatoni, because that's been going for a couple of laps, and it's been a real good banger, but not if we're just going to take beauty shots. Stop, Mill!
You're going to stop it, do you? You can't stop him. I think this is making up for all of the races where he doesn't even show up on camera.
No, it looks like they're side by side based on the position changing, but Butler's got the inside line to this turn, so I imagine he's got it. He does have it. There's Max Simmons rejoining the track. We'll see if that impacts anything. Nope, Butler's got a great run through there, and actually has already left Magas for dead. Although,
fire torpedoes.
Kind of wondering if Simmons is rejoined there. I honestly have no memory of how that went down, so I can't defend myself, but I'm going to say that the GT3 rejoining the track probably didn't help matters. Like Stoppmill putting a lap on Douglas DeGroat. Shout out to Douglas, actually. I don't know if he's really met his potential in this race. Again, he qualified P6, if I remember correctly, and is running in 7th. So, not having an amazing race, but still running, still doing his thing. He's had some bad things happen to him, and he's still delivering, so that deserves a shout-out all on its own. Toby Howard officially is now lapped Wayne Hutchinson, so he is out of that. Next up, he's got to unlap himself from Javi P. "27 cars still running. Mike Stoppmill, the man leading them all.
I think the last time we had more than 30 cars on the track, 90% of them were dead by the end.
Wasn't 90%, but it was a high number. It was to be honest, it was less cars than we still have running now, as Richard DeRouche is kind of there. Well, there's a battle going on between Magas and Butler. I would like to see the camera stick on that, but as has been the case, ladies and gentlemen, your race leader, Mike Stoppmill.
Hell yeah.
And there is the frontless Porsche of John Picha.
That's the tailless Porsche of Max Simons.
Max Simons, who loses a spot to Sean Kenny. Sean's out of last place. Yay! Sean has climbed out of last place.
I mean, you're cheering for the American.
And in fairness, I'm cheering that he overtook a guy who, on Zach Hemstrom's replay, appeared to not be able to keep up with GT4s in a straightaway. So that Porsche is, I'm going to make a solid argument, the least healthy car on the track right now.
Josiah Jerome and
Luciano
Pichazzo.
Pichazzo. They've been battling for a long time as they're coming up to Butler. Butler doesn't have Magas with them anymore. So Magas has fallen back at some point. Possibly an incident with a blue flag.
Oh no.
Oh, we're having a battle between Ichazo and Jerome, and we're looking at Mike Stoppel instead. Again, director. These are things that need to be changed. And here is that battle. Ichazo has, for the time being, held the position. Looking in the background to see where Magas is, he's quite a ways back, so perhaps an off-track moment for the Canadian. Like Stop Mill running in the lead still. Paul Riccobeni has picked up a spot over Ariel's. Oh no, it's over Christoph Verstappen's dropping. Can we get the camera on Verstappen? I need to know what happened there. It looks like he's gone off track because he has dropped from 4th place down to 7th place in his BMW. Martin Edmonds has overtaken Ariel Zatoni, so Ariel looks like he may also be off. So sudden problems for the BMW crew. But instead, we're looking at Mike Stoppman as he puts a lap on Toby Howard. Go Toby, go Toby.
Tobinder Singh Dhaliwal, fastest man in the world.
So what's the breakdown? We got 14 GT3s running and 13 GT4s. So about an even breakdown in terms of retirements. 4 GT3s have bit the bucket and 4 GT4s. So no particular pattern there. Next up on Stop Mill's list is Shannon Flynn, who is running in 5th place in the GT4 category. The Cyan Lotus. And there we go. No incident there under flag.
I demand all incidents be under blue flags.
There were a couple, not gonna lie. There were a couple.
Yeah, I think that Michael Magas caused one with, what's his name there?
That would be Mike Stoppel.
Darushi.
Possible. I don't think I had an incident with George. Trying to remember.
It was a few laps ago when you were battling with Butler.
Yeah, that was definitely a holdup. I don't remember if there was contact. I don't recall. I know I had contact with Jesus Huerta, but I don't remember. Although that was probably very annoying for him, I would imagine. Josiah Jerome on the trail of Luciano Ichazo. This battle suddenly become for 7th place because they've overtaken Ariel Zatoni. We don't know what happened to Zatoni, but he's dropped down to 9th place. Like Stop Mill continues to lead this race, which he has done for all of I want to say about 71 laps of the 76 we've had. I think we had like 5 laps of a combined leadership of Carpintero. No, it was longer than that because Hutchinson stayed out for so long. Probably about 7 laps of. As Stop Mill goes past Michael Magas there.
What was this about Carpentier?
Carpintero, not Carpentier. We do need a Carpentier. Come on, there's got to be someone related to Patrick Carpentier that can join us. Or a Villeneuve, that would be nice. Or a Tagliani. Or a Lacroix. There's a lot of options here.
I was going to say, can you just name off the last name of every racer? Because then we could have them.
I was sticking with French Canadians, but I mean, we can broaden this whole thing.
About 2 hours of just naming last names of racers.
Macri, Waugh, Mansell, Hinchcliffe. I'm still sticking with Canada at this point.
Morad.
Mason. Danny Morad, yeah. Redzinski. Stefan Redzinski.
I've met Morad. I've hung out with him for a base. Pretty nice.
I met him once as well, actually. Seemed like a nice guy. It was like for like 5 minutes. So can't.
I was at CTMP during the World Challenge weekend last year, and he actually did a walk around with a bunch of fans, and I was pretty much walking with him the whole time talking about sim racing.
Nice, nice. Danny Murat apparently very active in the sim racing community as well, so that's nice.
Although I don't know what he races. I think it's iRacing.
Probably iRacing. There's been a couple of
nubs.
dirt track guys who've been throwing a lot of shade towards the sim racing community, which is interesting. I also met Patrick Carpaccio. He was a good guy too. At the Rallycross event at Trois Rivières.
Also French for Three Rivers.
Chazo versus Jerome. They're working their way through traffic. They're staying together through the traffic, so even the blue flags are not breaking this fight up. Next up for them is a BMW that they're going to. It's either Loeffler or Magas based on the livery. Have to see how that continues to progress. Mike Stockmill still leading the way. Domination with just a shade over 7.5 minutes to go here at Indianapolis. And that's John Picha they're getting past. So they got through the BMW without issue, and they got through Picha without issue. Although it looked like Ichazo got the better of that one just a little bit. Which has turned about as fair play. Every time we've seen these guys work through traffic, it seems like Ichazo's gotten the kind of short end of the stick. So good to see him win that one. And that is Hemstrom that Stockmill is coming up to. Our aspiring Mike Stockmill, Zach Hemstrom.
Question, what's your opinion on Greg Moore?
Greg Moore was a fantastic driver. He does have the tendency that we have with almost all dead drivers, in the sense that he is probably slightly overrated, because it seems like if a driver dies, he becomes like this generational talent almost, and it's just like, I don't remember that being said while he was alive. He was very, very good.
Well, they did say that about Villeneuve, Senna.
Villeneuve and Senna, I think, absolutely
Schumacher
had the reputation. Well, Schumacher's not dead yet, is he?
Pretty much. He's about a vegetable.
That's true. They're trying to sell pictures of him lying in bed right now, so whoever that person is that stole those pictures,
fuck that person.
You. Fuck that person, yeah. I don't say that as a Schumacher fan even, I just say that as like just a human. Basic decency, fuck.
I mean, his family doesn't want his condition, doesn't publish his news at all. It'd be out of silence and wanting to not share it with people. I think they should respect that.
There was a brief press release a couple of years ago from the family when they thought that there was some hope. Although I don't think that ever really obviously panned out to anything, sadly. Stockmill overtaking Max Simmons to put him down a lap. And Michael Magas out of the race.
What?
So
Did you blow up your engine again?
No, it wasn't the engine this time. I had contact with Jesus Huerta under blue flags. I will let the stewards decide whether that was my fault, his fault, whatever. Racing is irrelevant to the story. I had sprung a leak. I wasn't watching it closely enough, so I had a puncture. Got past the pit lane into turn 2, and the tire just completely failed. So,
well, that ain't no good.
Out of the race. Had it happened near the pit lane entrance, I would have tried to limp my way around, but as I was pretty much going to have to do a full lap on the deflated tire, wasn't really an option to get back to the pit lane, unfortunately.
I once did a full lap at the end of a race with 2 blown tires.
That's impressive.
What are you, Federico Svanger?
No, I was not the Dark Lord of the Sith.
In fairness, if this was the old tire model, when Vanger did that, I would totally have done it. But unfortunately, the new tire model is less forgiving to the damaged car.
Once again, your leader, Mike Stockmill.
Once again, leader Mike Stockmill, who just lapped. Actually, you know what? We just had a shot of both leaders there. Sergio Menguel, right behind him in the Lotus. So I'm okay with that shot. I would still prefer to be looking at a Chazo versus Jerome, because I think they're still going at it. And that is for 7th place, which is a pretty key spot. I don't think that there's really... There we are. We're back with them. I don't think there's really anything else going on. I stand corrected. Riccobenian versus Strepeter scrapping over 5th. I'd like to check that out, please. And I think Martin Edmonds is kind of close to them as well, so that could be a three-way fight. And instead, we got Mike Stoppel. Apologies for being kind of salty with the director today, but it has made some choices that leave some things to be desired. We'll put it that way. Josiah Jerome on the tail of Luciano Echazo. This battle's been going on since, I think, basically the pit stops.
Since the dawn of time.
It's been going a while. By the way, shout out to Josiah Jerome. His monitor has not fallen over on itself, and that is a victory in itself.
I thought I got a new monitor.
He did, but I'm still going to make that joke. It's old, it's tired, it's rusty, but so are the hinges on his laptop monitor. Oh. Like Stop Mill coming up to Toby Howard, if I'm not mistaken. Another lap done there. So we're down to 26 cars. Josiah Jerome, Luciano Echazo, probably the most interesting fight that we know is going on. And once again, trading spots on the front start straight, but it doesn't really matter if you can't hold it into turn 1. Can they do it? And
Maybe.
It looks like Echazo's got the inside line, and that should mean that he retains 7th place. Back to Mike Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mike Stockman.
Time running down. We got probably about 2 laps to go here today.
I think that's fair.
What's fair? That we have 2 laps to go?
Yes.
Yep, I would say so.
Jerome, no!
No, Josiah off the track. That's Douglas DeGroat, so that's not Luciano. So I'd say, oh, Woody spotted, I think, again in the background.
No!
Might lose a spot to Ariel Zatoni. I'm not really sure where Zatoni
It's going back and forth.
Can we go to that? Can we go to that? Move to the fight for 8th place. Josiah, I'm sorry, man. You're getting shortchanged all day by the camera. Does not love you.
We need a live director.
You would need someone to sit here for 2 hours watching this and directing the camera.
Well, we're sitting here for 2 hours.
We're just doing commentary, and I got to race in this race, though. That's the problem. You
Damn
gotta
it.
get someone who will opt not to race and sit here.
Well, can you go into the director if you retire?
Yes.
Hey, you could have done that.
I probably should have, actually. It was running on my computer, so that would have been a good idea. I was kind of angry, though, so I'm not sure how good of a job I did. was not a happy camper. Nope, Josiah has slipped back behind Zatoni and Moly
I think he was retiring. I saw him pulled off on the back straight.
We'll have to see. He doesn't seem to be retired yet. Of course, these intervals are not exactly helping. No, if he retired, it'd put him above me. So he's not retired. He's still moving.
Well, I saw him stop, so I don't know what he's doing.
Might have been trying to figure out what's wrong with the car. I mean, after like 2 spins in a row like that, you might be trying to figure out how you can mitigate whatever lack of grip is causing you to spin. More traction control, fill it with brake bias, something. Whether you want to pit or not, which I don't think is really an option here. We're on the last lap.
Looks like he moved.
Yeah, looks like he's still moving. So, has not pulled the plug. Which
2
credit
turns
to him.
remaining in the period.
Indeed. Mike Stopmill going to come across the line to take victory here at Indianapolis to open up the 2020 Enduro season here for ESR, as well as the associated communities that are racing with us. Welcome to the field for them as well.
Ooh, who's
And,
racing with us?
RRS is racing with us, and I can't remember what community Sergio Miguel is the admin of, but they are here as well.
That's information we probably could have used in the beginning of the race.
Carmine Carpintero coming to the line, a solid second place for him. I believe this is his first ESR sanctioned race. Late overtake there on Fran Pachuca. Mind you, that's a blue flag, but
I think you guys should have joined the 80 car grid race, Mr. Get Server and ACC.
oh boy.
Up to communities took part. Jimmy Broadbent was in it. David Perel was in it.
I heard he finished like 52nd. Oh,
I haven't seen the end of it.
A late smash up there for, I think that was Alex Loeffler. He'll be able to drag it across the line, no problem. So not a big deal. Still, Richard DeRouche getting the podium for BMW. Coming across the line in third place. Martin Edmonds, talk about a weird road to fourth place. Martin Edmonds is going to take fourth in this race. Couple of spins, couple of moments. It seemed like a top 10 would have been a good result for him, but he picks up P4. Just proving that this is a really long race, and all it takes is just staying on it and trying to get your best lap after best lap, really.
And put everybody else in the wall.
I don't think he put anyone in the wall, but he might have. Paul Riccobeni, another guy who had a bit of an up-and-down race, 5th place. Christopher Streppen, a little bit of an up-and-down race for him as well. Ichazo, 7th. Ariel Zatoni, Moly, Josiah Jerome. Kept it going despite whatever the problem was. Fran Machuca, Jesus Huerta, Sean Kenny, Max Simons. Max Simons, by the way, deserves a big round of applause for making it to the end of this race. He definitely had some significant problems in that Porsche, and he kept pushing along and does, in fact, get it to the end, albeit 5 laps down. Credit to Carmine and Richard. They managed to finish on the lead lap. They were the only two that did. Mike Stockmill.
Well done.
In the second class, we have got Sergio Mengual in first place ahead of Zach Hemstrom. Really solid effort by him on what I believe is probably his longest race to date. James Butler getting the podium. Good work, James. Big thumbs up. Shannon Flynn, 4th place. Alex Loeffler, Douglas DeGroat.
Called it.
TP, Scott Greenfield, Demetrius Siemenitis, Dixon Hurst, John Picha, Toby Howard finishing the race. Bringing up the DNFs, Michael Magas, Javier Perez-Torres, Wayne Hutchinson, Travis Walsh, Alvar Gomez, Dole Robbins, Jesse Hampton, Zerai Garunian, Mauricio Del Gato. Anything you gentlemen would like to add to the end there?
This is a long-ass race.
It is a long-ass race. It's the longest race ESR has ever done.
Really?
It is.
Huh.
I will give a couple of just, I don't know, interesting stats here before we call the end of this race here. The fastest lap of the race was, of course, Mike Stockmill's 125.602. Only one other person broke the two other people broke the 125s. Would you like to guess who, Mr. Higgs?
Carpintero.
And, of course, Byron May. Carpintero was one of them, yes.
And...
I'll give you a hint, it's not DeRouche if you're going to go with just the podium.
No, I wasn't. I didn't think he was that fast. Maybe... not Martin. Maybe Moly?
It was Christoph Verstappen who did a 125.753, second fastest lap of the race.
Ha-cha-cha.
The fastest lap in the GT4 category went to race winner Sergio Mengual, 133.433. A number of other people did 133s as well. James Butler was there, Zach Hemstrom, Shannon Flynn, Douglas DeGroat did a 133. Michael Magas did a 133. Actually, there was a 125 that retired. Travis Walsh, 125.796.
Oh.
And yeah, that is how that goes. Just out of curiosity, your most consistent driver of the race was Richard DeRouche. 0.48 deviation on his laps. Did incredibly well. Very consistent performance by Richard. He deserves a big round of applause.
Give that boy a big old sloppy hug.
And
I prefer sloppy hugs.
and we'll do a quick rundown of the championship points. Although I think these need adjustment because we used a standard scoring table, which I don't think is going to work for this series, so expect this to change. But Sergio Manuel and Mike Stoppmill at the top with 70 points, 65 for Carpentiero and Hemstrom, DeRouche and Butler on 60. The drivers who were absent for this race and may make their debut next round, Clive Britton in the GT3s, as well as Jesus Calados. So we'll have 2 Jesuses, as well as Gerardo Del Valle and Enrique Hervas. Ricky Spanish, Byron.
Sorry, I was coming up with a parody.
And also in the GT4 category, we were without John Barker and Laszlo Gidbey. I'm going to go with that as pronunciation. I don't know if that is it. As well as Anshel Ascaso. And that's it. Those were. Oh, and of course, Vanger, who was the only KTM signed up and unfortunately did not get to compete. Probably not the best race for KTM. It's kind of lacking in the straights, and Indy does have a fair bit of straight line required. That being said, looking forward to seeing him on the grid for another ones, because Byron will back me up on this one. Vanger will finish the race.
Oh,
That's
hell
how
yeah.
that works.
I think there's only like one race he didn't finish, and it's because his car was totaled.
I think he lost 3 wheels off that car.
No, we've seen him finish with only one wheel.
Yeah, but I think the one he DNF'd, he only had 1 wheel left.
That's a shame.
Alrighty. Any final words, guys, before we turn this over to the editing?
I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat something.
Sounds good.
I'm hungry as well.
Sounds good.